going on YouTube? It's Jugger back with a brand new series on the channel. I am super excited to get this underway and I hope you guys are as well. We are going to be doing a Madden 20 franchise rebuild. I know Madden's in a little bit of a weird spot right now just because of the fact that we recently had the NFL draft and pretty much everyone's just waiting for Madden 21 so that they can start working with the new players who were recently drafted. However, I didn't want to wait that long. We currently got our NBA 2K20 franchise rebuild. I thought it would be lots of fun to also get a Madden series on the channel and see what type of fun that we can have with this series, and overall just another football rebuild. I love doing these. Honestly, there's just so many different aspects that Madden presents that you don't have in 2K and vice versa, but I think Madden has a few more dynamics that 2K lacks as far as rebuilds go, like as far as actually being able to do stuff in free agency rather than them having a set amount you can offer players and stuff like that. Madden just does things a little differently that makes it fun. And then since there's so many positions in football compared to basketball, the off season in footballs are hectic and crazy, and the draft is super crazy as well. Not to say that they're not in 2K, but Madden is just on a little bit of a different level than that. So overall, I hope you guys are just so excited for us to get this underway. It should be loads of fun, especially because I plan on using a team that I've never actually used for a rebuild on this, because I've done a lot of rebuilds myself prior to making content, and we're going to be using a team that I've never chose for a rebuild before. So once again, if you guys are excited for this brand new series on the channel, please smash that like button for me. Leave a comment on what exactly you're expecting in the series, what you're excited for, all that jazz. I'll love to hear it. And as well, subscribe if you are new to the channel. We're going to be having this series going on simultaneously with our NBA 2K20 expansion rebuild series, so it should be loads of fun with the sports content that we're going to be having. And eventually I'm actually going to be throwing a little bit of Warzone content on the channel as well. Pretty much I'm just holding off because I want to get some of the better guns a little bit more kind of fleshed out on Warzone for myself before I go too deep in that. But either way, that's enough of that pre-talk. Let's get into this video. So overall, as you can see, we're currently on the Eagles. The Eagles are actually my team. I think that's a huge reason why I've never done a rebuild with this team, considering that they're pretty well known by my Eagles. But the team that we're going to be using is actually going to be the Washington Redskins for this franchise rebuild. Never used them before. Not really sure Dwayne Haskins is the answer at quarterback for them, so we may be looking for a different quarterback. And yeah, they got a lot of pieces that they're currently lacking, so I definitely think this is a team that will be fun to rebuild. Other than their logo having all that controversy, I think otherwise this will be a very fun team to rebuild. So let's just get to it. So obviously we got Jay Gruden as the coach, but we're going to be firing him and we're going to be making our own coach. So starting point, let's do that first. We're going to start in the preseason. Yes. Yeah. Then change role. No, we're not changing our role. We're not changing our role. We are going to use a custom coach, and we're going to be the coach XP package. Yeah, we're going to be a team builder, not Chris Dale though. We are going to be I kind of don't want to go with Jugger. What's an old player that I think could end up getting a job with the Redskins? Trying to think. Let's go. I'm gonna have some fun with this. Let's go Mike Vick. Let's say Mike Vick somehow got a job in the NFL. Alright. Now we'll go with that outfit. And we're going to keep their playbooks, but I do envision that eventually we are going to end up creating our own playbook, because the way we're actually going to do this series is we're not going to actually be playing the games ourselves. We're going to be using the slow simulator what's the word I'm looking for? The slow simulation feature. There we go, feature. We're going to be using the slow simulation feature this entire series, and seeing if we can pretty much just be like a GM for the team and work the team from where it currently is to being a legitimate threat. It's a super fun way to play Madden. Someone who's notorious for doing this is Mr. Hurricane LP, or just Mr. Hurricane. He just has this separate channel called Mr. Hurricane LP. Look into his series that he has on his Mr. Hurricane LP channel with the Buccaneers. Very fun series. Honestly, one of my favorite series on YouTube. One of the only series I actually stay up to date with pretty frequently on all of YouTube. I just love it. We are going to go to all Madden. What else matters here? We'll put coach firing on just because that's realistic, but I don't envision we'll be getting fired. Superstar abilities we're actually going to be putting off. I think the superstar abilities are a pretty terrible feature. Just the fact that when someone's in the zone, that a quarterback be making all these perfect throws and stuff like that, and how much superstar abilities cause fumbles. I just don't like it, and it's unfortunate because you get like no fumbles otherwise without superstar abilities. But for me, I don't like it. I'm going to lean off of having the superstar abilities, unfortunately. Injuries will be on, pre-existing injuries will be on, practice squad stealing will be on, weekly progression, quarter length, we're gonna go, I think 11. It's either 11 or 10 that I like. I think it's 11. I'll have to double check that. Weekly training, we're gonna do auto. We do not want tutorial pop-ups. And I think that is it as far as this screen. Yeah. And change role, starting point. And yeah, I think we're all ready to get it started. So let's get this underway. I do not recall my XP sliders from my other series as of right now though. So that's something I'm going to have to look into. So we already got some player development. Coach Vic, before we get too far into the preseason, I just wanted to offer, especially if they have a hidden trait, ask about, I know what this is. In the conversation, I already know what he's talking about. That's just a little tutorial that they always put there. We already have some players to upgrade. Aaron Colvin. We will upgrade his man coverage since that makes him a scheme fit, so we'll prioritize that. And then Dominique Rogers Cromartie, we will do the same for him. Keep him a scheme fit. We're gonna go run stopper for Chris Odom. And we will go with zone for Jeremy Reeves. Okay, and let's evaluate this roster. What do we have with this roster right now? Who do we plan on keeping? Who do we plan on getting rid of? Where are we right now with this roster? So for me, I want to keep things as realistic as possible. So as far as doing realistic trades, not allowing the game to just progress so rapidly. Like if we end up just getting really good players and that's the way things go, then I'm not going to disallow it, but I'm not going to do any kind of things that aren't too realistic with this roster as far as trades and as far as rebuilding and getting this roster where it needs to be. Pretty much we'll be building a lot through the draft though, so we'll just see how that fares for us, and we will be just going with the auto-generated class that we get. In real life, they did trade away Trent Williams, so I do think I'm going to trade away Trent Williams just for the fact that he's no longer on this team in real life for the Redskins. And from there, yeah, looks like we got Brandon. We still got a really good lineman in Brandon's Sheriff? I guess that's how you pronounce it. Just really weird last name. Matthew Ioannidis. We got Jordan Reed. We got Ryan Kerrigan. We still got some good players. So let's look at the quarterback situation, though, because that's the biggest thing. Dwayne Haskins right now is the quarterback. He does have the hidden dev trait, but he is only a 70, so it's going to take a lot of time to get him where he needs to be, especially looking well, actually the ratings for him aren't that bad at all. I didn't realize how good these ratings currently were for Dwayne Haskins. However, I think we're going to move on from Haskins. It's going to take a little longer than we want, and we want a different guy at the helm. I'm not sure Haskins is the guy. I'm not feeling too confident in him, and I want someone who's going to be, hopefully can develop, but be a little bit better than a 70 right off the bat. So we're going to let Haskins go. From there, we got Darius Geis at running back, and what are we looking at with him? So he has star development, so we're not really in the best place as far as running back, as we have an aging Adrian Peterson, and Chris Thompson. Not terrible, but nothing to really write home about. As far as wide receiver, we do have Terry McLaurin. He is going to have a hidden dev. That is going to be one of the only real big time weapons we have as far as our offense, in my opinion. As Darius Geis isn't bad, but unless we get a development upgrade, I don't see him being great. Vernon Davis still being an 80 is a little crazy to me, as he's just a little too old at this point. We do got Jordan Reed though, so tight end's not looking terrible. Like I said, we're trading away Trent Williams. The rest of this line, other than Trent Williams and Brandon, though, needs a lot of work. As far as pass rushers, Matthew Ioannidis and Jonathan Allen really isn't bad at all. Both of those guys are pretty young, so it doesn't look like we're doing too bad with pass rushers, especially with Deron Payne as well. We will want to get another defensive tackle other than Tim Settle, who could really help this team, but we'll have to look into that. As far as linebackers, we got Ryan Kerrigan, who's a superstar. He's a little older though, and he should be starting to regress. So this may be another player who we look to trade for draft capital to go along with Trent Williams, just because he's a little bit older, and I do think it's going to be a while. It may be a while, I'm not positive, but it may be a while before we're competitive. I'm not sure he lines up with the timeline of when we're expecting to be competitive. We do have Montez Sweat though, who's a rookie, and I see some promise in him. Normal dev, but 76 isn't that bad of a place to start out for a rookie linebacker. As far as corners, I'm not too excited about this. We just got a bunch of mediocre guys, and yeah, Josh Norman's just nowhere near the corner he used to be, so yeah, lots of mediocre guys there. As far as free safety, nothing to write home about, and then Landon Collins at strong safety, who is a good strong safety to have, so not too worried about that. Kicker, we have Dustin Hopkins, who's really not the best kicker, so yeah, we got a lot to work on with this team. I think right away what I want to do is let's first look at free agents and see if there's any free agents who we want to add, and then we can look at trades. So Andrew Luck and Antonio Brown, what I'm going to do with those two is I'm going to wait until they sign with the team, and then I'm actually just going to drop their ratings. Antonio Brown, yes, I know it's in real life there is still the chance that someone can sign him and that he can be a good player, but I just don't think it's that likely with all the off-field controversies he has. And it's just not really realistic in this series, especially in this year, to have Antonio Brown being some dynamic threat for a team. So for that reason, I'm going to wait until he signs with the team and then drop his rate. And then Andrew Luck did retire. He's no longer playing in the NFL, so I will be doing the same for him. We'll just drop. It's unfortunate because someone's going to waste their salary on these two guys, but this is the best way I can think of going about this, other than if I just would have completely dropped these guys' ratings just on the regular roster. But I didn't think about that prior to starting the season, so my apologies there. So yeah, someone's just going to end up wasting money on these guys, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. That's how we're going to go about dealing with those guys being that good. Yeah, I think we're going to sign him because we need linemen, so we'll sign him. And then anyone else that we want to sign, I don't think so. So yeah, that'll be the one player we sign off of free agency, and we are going to start looking at trades right away. Maybe Ryan Anderson will finish that off. And that does. So we're going to trade Dwayne Haskins, John Bostic, and Ryan Anderson for the Bengals 3rd round pick. So that gives us some very solid draft capital with getting Dwayne Haskins off of our team. From there, I do want to trade Trent Williams, so that's what we'll do next. Would you guys want Vernon Davis? I don't really want Vernon Davis at all, but I don't want Vernon Davis either, so I'm going to leave him there. We don't really have DTs to give up. As far as corners, getting rid of Josh Norman's deal would be really nice. So let's see if this works. And it does. So we're going to trade Trent Williams, Vernon Davis, and Josh Norman for the 4th pick of the Bills. Then next we are going to trade Ryan Kerrigan. That will be the last guy we trade. And we're going to see who else has a high pick. Cardinals have a high pick as of right now, but obviously these picks can shift a lot. So we want to go to a team who we think is going to be bad, like the Giants. And they are interested in Ryan Kerrigan, but not that interested, unfortunately. So maybe we can give up another corner. They do like... Oh, wow. Wow. So that gets it right away. Woo. All right, so Ryan Kerrigan and Moriu, I guess that's how you pronounce it. Please give me a break with some of these names, as I am not sure how to pronounce some of these guys' names. I'll try my best, and we'll get better as we move along. But we are going to trade Ryan Kerrigan and this Moriu guy to get the 7th pick of the Giants. So hopefully they're all those teams we just traded for. Hopefully they're actually bad. And we'll just recap those picks real quickly. So now we have the 3rd pick, the 4th, the 7th, and then ours is predicted to be the 10th. So we'll see if that's how things can kind of stay. Hopefully we'll have to monitor that throughout this season. So from there, I think that's all we wanted to do with trades. I'll look at the roster one more time, but I'm pretty sure that's all we wanted to do with trades. We already got a ton of draft capital from those bit of trades there. I think we want to hold on to the rest of these guys. Yeah, we want to hold on to the rest of these guys. So yeah, we'll actually just start Alex Smith at quarterback this year, and we will see if there's not trades. We will see if there's any corners who we want to add to the team in this free agency class. I think Bobby wouldn't be bad. Yeah, we're gonna add Brian Bobby Calhoun on a $2.25 million deal for 1 year. Just since we traded away Josh Norman and Moriu, we traded away a decent bit of players. So, all right. So like I said, I'm going to come back to both of these. Actually, gameplay styles we can look at now. Actually, no, I'll come back to both of these. So I want to mimic the ones that I have in my personal series, because I think my gameplay and XP sliders are both in a really good place for that series. So for this first season that we're just going to simulate completely through, we're not going to play any games in this first season. For this season, we'll just go with the default, and I will, or at least for part of it. I'm not sure how far we'll get through this season in this episode, but at least for part of this, we will just we'll just go with default. I don't think we're going to simulate the whole entire season. So if we don't finish simulating this entire season in this episode, then in the next episode, do expect for us to have the correct XP sliders and for us to have the correct gameplay sliders that I prefer, because I really do think I have those in a good place in my other series, and I just need to look at them to make sure everything's good there. From there though, I'm trying to make sure there's nothing else that I feel we need to really do at this point. I don't think so. Settings, league settings, no, I think we're all set. So yeah, let's just let's sim to next week and see if Andrew Luck and Antonio Brown get picked up. Or I guess we could just sim to the regular season, and then that's when I can see what teams pick them up. Actually, I want to take this day by day because of these events that can occur like this. So, Kalichi Osameli, I think that's how you say his name, Osameli, Kalichi Osemele, he's saying he wants to mentor Garan Christian Sr. So what do we want to focus on? I'm not sure we're going to have amazing quarterback play, so we will probably have to focus on the run a little bit. So I do think some power running will help us with Darius Geis moving into next year. So we're going to have him focus on that. And then we do have a new injury. It is going to be Steven Smith. And we have some upgrades, and it's just Adrian Peterson. And we'll do elusive for him. Alright, and from there we will go to we're just going to simulate the entire preseason, and then I'll worry about Andrew Luck and Antonio Brown. Alright, he says Goran Christian Sr. was doing good. So he got +3 to awareness, so not bad. But the upgrades went away. Like we had that sounded first and then it just went away. So we're going to be 1-1 so far in preseason, facing off against the Falcons, who are also 1-1. And we lose to the Falcons. And there's the sound is back. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Really weird. Really weird. Gonna give Reuben Foster though an upgrade, and we are going to have to cut 9 players. Yeah, we're not going to really worry about preseason stats. Just isn't something I'm too worried about at this moment. We're focusing on the future. So set a goal. Our goal is just going to be commit to the goal, 4 wins. All we're expecting. We honestly don't want to be good, so we can ensure we have a high pick. And okay, we have our first game in the season against the Eagles, but like I said, I want to go, not free agents, I want to go and see who signed Antonio Brown and Andrew Luck, and I'm just going to drop their ratings, sadly. There we go with those 2 guys. Sadly, I should have just added them, like I said, before the season started, but it is what it is. So we're going to send our first game against the Eagles. And we apparently won. And I actually want to double check our depth chart and make sure we're playing all of our young players, something I should have done prior. Yeah, so we did win this first game somehow. Now we got some X factors. Great win as we stopped Fletcher Cox. Alright, DeMarcus Lawrence this week though. Gonna commit to slowing him down as well. And he don't give up 2 or fewer sacks. So we'll see if we can accomplish that. And Caleb Brantley has an upgrade. Go a run stop there. Alright, and there was one other thing I wanted to do that I'm not recalling now. Oh yeah, I wanted to see just how we won this game. Probably one of the only games I really look at. I'm just curious. How did we beat the Eagles? Alex Smith threw for 3 touchdowns, only 1 interception, while our defense held Wentz to only 118 yards, 1 TD and 1 INT. Jordan Howard did a lot of their work. Darius Geis had an okay game. Yeah, some TDs to a bunch of different players. Get some pressure. We honestly got sacked a lot, ironically. Quinn Dunbar got the interception. Alright, so we are going to simulate this last game, and that's probably where we'll finish off. We'll definitely try in the next episode to simulate the entire rest of the season and then hopefully get into the off season. We'll just have to see how things are faring week to week, but I'm pretty sure we should be able to get into the off season and finish the offseason in the next episode. We do have a breakout player though, in Reuben Foster. That'd be great. That would be great. Actually, we're gonna send one more game because of the fact that we have a breakout player right now. A loss is a loss, so we didn't stop DeMarcus Lawrence, or we stopped him but we lost, so it didn't matter. We got Khalil Mack now. Woo! We are getting destroyed with these pass rushing teams though. We'll just try to slow him down again, because realistically that's all you can do. I think it said 2 or fewer turnovers maybe. And now we can scout. So we're going to get some route running for Terry McLaurin. Paul Richardson, we're going to go a route running as well. And for Nate Orchard, we will go with Run Stopper. Alright, let's just look, auto-generate the draft class. Let's just look at what we got here. So it looks like a free safety is lots of defensive players at the top of the board. Who is the highest QB? It looks like Stuart Cantony, who's overrated. So what about Josh Kennedy? He's overrated as well. So this is not the year to need a quarterback at all. Javier Guerrero, overrated. Chris Zeller, overrated. Chandler Perry, undrafted. And we'll have to see with Marvin Alexander, but that's really unfortunate. Obviously, since we traded away Dwayne Haskins, very unfortunate that it looks like we're in the midst of a terrible QB draft, especially if Marvin Alexander isn't, if he's not a good prospect, then that means that this is absolutely not the year to need a quarterback. Like, absolutely not. So we'll have to see how we want to go about that if Marvin Alexander ends up being overrated as well. So let's do that. Let's simulate to next week, just so we can figure that out. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm just going to look at the prospects. Looks like we lost again. Let's see if we got the breakout for Reuben Foster. So, nope. Wasn't the Aaliyah performance he was looking for. Looks like we do have another one here, though, and I don't even know what player that is. But let's go back to Scout, and I really need to know if Marvin Alexander is overrated as well. And he is. He's undrafted. Oh my, you guys. Alright, so Parker Bates is going to be the first QB worth actually taking. This is a shameful QB draft class. Very shameful. We're just going to finish this out on QBs, and yeah, very sad QB draft class, you guys. Looks like all the way in the 4th round, Parker Bates is going to be actually a 4th round, a mid 4th round talent, like he's being projected to be. So good throw power, throw accuracy short and mid aren't terrible, but it says he's a scrambler, so his accuracy is probably going to be pretty off, and we'll have to see if that's the route we want to take, you guys. But that's where we're going to end off this episode, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in into the start of this brand new series. I really hope you guys can enjoy this series, can support this series. I love doing these type of rebuilds, and like I said, we're going to be doing slow simulation, so we're not going to actually be playing the games. We're going to watch the CPU play and just see if we can construct a roster that can win a Super Bowl. That'll be the ultimate goal. Once we win a Super Bowl, we'll see how long that takes, and if we want to extend the series from there. It's going to be a ton of fun, you guys. And if you want to reference this type of series by like just seeing how it kind of shakes down, check out Mr. Hurricane LP. Like I said, he has an amazing series with the Buccaneers. Overall though, thank you guys for supporting as always. Leave a like if you enjoyed, leave a comment on what exactly you're excited for with this brand new series, what exactly you want to see, what you think we should do as far as QBs considering the state it's in. Love to hear any of that, would really appreciate that type of interaction on the channel. But thanks just for watching. You all have a wonderful rest of your day. This is the Jugger signing out. Peace.